Inflation just got worse and people are finally starting to feel another paycheck. New inflation numbers just came out and they were hotter than expected. Prices rose 3.8% over the past year and gas prices alone are up almost 30%.
I finally proved it. They are shortening the bags. This whole bag fit in this whole bag.
This is not living. I am fucking exhausted. I'm 43 years old. I've been working since I was 16 years old. I'm expected to do this till I'm like 65 or 70. No thank you.
You are working harder every single day for a dollar that is getting lower in value. Your paycheck looks the exact same, yet it's buying you less every single month. Have you ever stopped to look at your paycheck? Like really look at your paycheck for a second, right? That number on your check probably looks about the same as last year, unless you've been working overtime, maybe even a little higher, right? So why does it disappear faster every single month? Here's the answer that they are really hoping that you never put together. Your paycheck is shrinking, okay? Not the number, but the worth of that number. And the fact that that number stays the same every single month is exactly the trick that they're trying to pull on you. Now stick with me here, because once you see this, guys, you are not going to be able to unsee it next time you get paid.
Inflation just got worse and people are finally starting to feel another paycheck. New inflation numbers just came out and they were hotter than expected. Prices rose 3.8% over the past year and gas prices alone are up almost 30%. That means people are paying way more for basic stuff like food, gas, flights, and even clothing. But here's the part that really matters. Wages are no longer keeping up. Real wages actually fell, which means even if your paycheck stayed the same, your money buys less than it did before. And that's why so many people are confused when they hear that the economy is doing fine. On paper, jobs are still there and the stock market is holding up, but everyday life is getting more expensive, especially for middle and lower income households. This also makes it harder for the Federal Reserve to cut interest rates anytime soon because inflation is still running way above their 2% target. So yeah, people aren't imagining the financial pressure right now.
Good morning, everyone. I don't know if it's just me, but I just feel like my money is not going as far as it used to. Every paycheck, I feel like it gets tighter and tighter to make my money go where I need it to go, especially with groceries. Is anyone else feeling this way?
So I keep saying, if the price of everything keeps going up and our salaries do not match this, then what is the end goal here? What are these corporations expecting people to do? Because at some point, we are just not going to have money for housing and food. And it's not like you're just spending all this money on frivolous things. No, 25% of Americans live paycheck to paycheck, buying only essential things. So what are these corporations planning on doing? Well, the fact of the matter is they don't plan for the economy. They only plan for future profits. So they literally don't see a problem here because they are making more money than they've ever made before. Now, one of the things I see all the time is we need to literally quit buying things. Well, that would be great, except for the things that we need to boycott are our food. Like, we cannot boycott food. And the problem is these corporations and billionaires have enough money that they can literally let us starve out until we break every single time. Now, one of the suggestions for this is, people need to just start buying from farms or making their own gardens. And that would be fantastic, except for a shitload of people live in cities and don't have that ability. Not only that, but the majority of the massive farms are owned by corporations. So if they stop getting money, they will no longer be able to have fuel to grow the items, and it will just turn into a giant economic crisis where millions of people are going to starve out. Now, one of the reasons we've got to this point so far is because of consumerism, which isn't actually a bad thing. The bad thing about consumerism is whenever you do not have a government that will stop companies from forming major monopolies, which they do. Consumerism in general is a great idea. People go out and buy things. This leads to more jobs, more development, more innovation, and then people live a better life. But it falls apart whenever these giant companies start making a monopoly out of everything and literally get rid of every kind of quality there is in these products, leading to a short shelf life of anything where people have to keep buying the same item over and over and over. So do these corporations even give a fuck that you're literally not going to be able to afford to live? No, they don't give a shit. They're already filthy rich, and the only thing they're concerned about is making more profit. So anyways, yay for an oligarchy. It's great. Okay, have a great day. Bye.
Man, listen, man, somebody help me out and understand this shit. How the fuck am I supposed to save fucking money when my bills cost the same amount as my check? The fuck?
This is not rhetorical, I'm being so serious. If the price of everything keeps going up, and our salaries keep staying the same, what's gonna happen?
So when I was homeless, I actually decided to kind of write out something similar in my journal to see how my life would be like if I could only live out of my savings while the price of everything was going up. So I decided to tweak this a little bit to reflect the current political climate, as well as all of the social and economic things that are occurring around us. But if prices keep rising while wages stay mostly the same, eventually people's purchasing power starts to collapse. That basically means that your paycheck stays the same, but it buys less and less over time. At first, people usually cut back on spending, stop eating out, delay medical care, skip vacations, or rely more heavily on credit cards and loans. But if it continues long enough, bigger problems start to happen. More people fall into debt, evictions and homelessness can rise, birth rates often decline because families can't afford children, people work multiple jobs just to survive, and the middle class starts shrinking. Economically, businesses also suffer because if regular people can't afford to spend money, companies eventually make less profit too. That's why prolonged inflation without wage growth becomes dangerous. It creates a cycle where essentials become more expensive, people struggle financially, spending slows, economic stress increases, as well as social and political tensions often rise alongside it. Historically, when this gap becomes severe, governments usually try some combination of raising wages, lowering interest rates, stimulus programs, subsidies, tax adjustments, price controls, or expanding social assistance. But if those solutions fail or come too slowly, countries can experience a recession, labor strikes, mass protest, political instability, or major shifts in leadership and policy. That's also part of the reason as to why people are so nervous when it comes to oil prices, the housing cost, groceries, healthcare, and utilities all increasing at once. For many people, it's not just that things are expensive. It's the fear that the cost of living is rising faster than what society can realistically keep up with.
And I think this is the whole game that people are trying to play on this, guys. Same check, but less quality of life over time, okay? Because for the first time in 3 years, guys, real wages actually fell. Real, all right? Real just means after you factor in prices, okay? So I'm talking about like your money, the actual buying power in your hands has went down. You didn't get a pay cut on paper. You got one in real life, okay? And because the number on the check didn't move, most people will probably never notice that this is happening to them. And if you really start to pay attention on this stuff, they do the same trick at the store, okay? Same price, smaller box, same bag, you'll have fewer chips, of course, same bottle, but it's less in there, okay?
I finally proved it. They are shortening the bags. This whole bag fit in this whole bag. Bruh, this was $3, bruh. This is not $3, bruh.
And the price is going up.
Now, when you're in the store next time, pay attention to these new displays that Lay's potato chips has out because they're doing something sneaky. They done shrunk these bags like a cheap t-shirt in hot water. Like this bag, it used to be 200 grams. Now it's 130 grams. Another one dropped to 235 grams to just 145 grams. And these are plain chips. They ain't even got seasoning out here like somebody grandma got high blood pressure. At this point, Lay's needs to admit they don't sell potato chips. They sell a bag of air with a potato chip pack on the inside. And I've been telling y'all, this is what corporations love to do. They will smile in your face while they're picking your pocket. Smaller bags, higher prices, less seasoning. And somehow you're supposed to clap because they changed the packaging color. Keep your money in your pocket. Buy your own bag of potatoes and make your own potato chips at home. Because at least when you get robbed in public, they have the decency to wear a mask. Still buy Lay's potato chips? Have you noticed the smaller bags? Let's talk about it.
You guys, I know shrinkflation and all that, but what they did with this, how small this became, should be a crime. No, check this out. Y'all see how skinny this is? This is like finger width. Bro, these used to be like definitely double this size. Like, they don't even make it like they don't even try to hide it. Like, bruh, I ain't had these in a few years and I was like, there's no way this is this small. Look, it stops right here. I didn't even eat any of this at all.
Shrinkflation is when companies make their product smaller but keep it at the same price, and it exposes just how hard customers are getting robbed. Because while a can of tomatoes used to have 650 milliliters, today it might have 600 milliliters. Companies have an incentive to do this because if they can make more profit and customers won't even know this, why wouldn't they? But it gets even worse because sometimes they change what's in the product, which is a different form of shrinkflation. For example, the original can used to have tomato puree as their primary ingredient, but now their primary ingredient is water. And if they can charge the same amount of money for something that has less of the more expensive thing, then why would they not do that? The only issue is when enough customers get together and get mad about it, and then there's nothing companies can do. Like, one of the most angering one for consumers is that this packet of gum is supposed to have 10 slots for gum, but they replaced one of them with a thumb grip. And as long as customers don't notice, they're able to reduce their cost of making this entire packet of gum by 10% because they don't have to include one of the 10 gums. And once you start to notice it, you'll see it everywhere, even on stuff like breath strips, where you literally are getting basically half of what you used to, even though it's the same price. So follow to be aware of stuff like this, or you might never see me again.
At first, I really thought it was my imagination and I was just like hallucinating or something like that. But really, this is a strategy that they're pulling on us. Okay. This is called shrinkflation. Okay. And it works because we look at the price tag and not the amount that's coming in that item. Same move as your paycheck, of course. You keep the familiar number, but it quietly shrinks what it's actually worth and bet that you are too busy to do the math.
Man, working overtime is the only way to make it nowadays. Like, man, a regular 40 hours just ain't gonna get it with no pay rate nowadays. Like, you gotta get that time and a half. Like, man, if you getting paid like 17 or 18 an hour, you would have to work like 50 plus hours just to make it. If you working 40 or less, like how a lot of these jobs is around here, what I realize, bro, they try to balance it out. Like, you gonna get overtime at this certain, point in time, but then there's gonna be times where you getting a 32 hours, 30 hours and shit like that. But man, the only way to make it nowadays, you will have to consistently be working overtime. I'm talking about 50 hours a week, 60 hours sometimes, like 40 just ain't gonna do it, I'm telling you. Man, and a lot of these places, bro, they be trying to cut back on spending, so they ain't gonna give you a whole lot of overtime. They gonna give you a little bit here and there. And man, that be the thing, man. If everybody could make it out 40 hours a week, bro, working wouldn't be a problem. It wouldn't be a thing. But, everybody got to go to long miles just to goddamn, make ends meet and shit. But, man,
I don't understand how people are okay living like this. Got up at 7 a.m., left for work at 8 a.m. It's almost 7 p.m. right now in heavy ass DC traffic. If you know, you know. Have to go make dinner, eat something healthy, go work out, take a shower, and then I'm still supposed to work on my business. This is not living. I am fucking exhausted. I'm 43 years old. I've been working since I was 16 years old. I'm expected to do this till I'm like 65 or 70. No, thank you. This is exactly why I am building my way out. And I know people freaking roll their eyes and make money online and there are scams. Yes, there are scammy people out there, but there are also legitimate ways to actually make a viable income. I cannot continue to live like this. I don't even want to live in this freaking area anymore. I wanted to move to the beach by the palm trees, the sunshine, the gorgeous weather, but I can't live the life that I want to live because of money. Go out and make your own thing, people. This is no way to live. Okay, I gotta go because I gotta go do a million things before I gotta get up and do it all over again tomorrow, and it's only fucking Monday.
I'm about to ruin your relationship with overtime, and I apologize for that in advance. People talk about overtime like it's some kind of life hack. Just work more hours, make more money, and sure, the paychecks get bigger. I'm not denying that. Overtime has helped me catch up plenty of times, but nobody talks about what it costs. It's not just the extra hours, it's the weekends you don't remember because you were never there. It's your body feeling like it's twice your age. It's the way you blink and then realize another week disappeared and you barely lived any of it. The truth is, overtime doesn't fix the real issue. The issue is relying on one source of income that drains your time and energy every time you want to earn more. Once I realized that, everything changed for me. I didn't stop working hard, I just started working on something that could eventually give my time back to me.
And the worst part is like, what it's doing to real people, the things that they have to do in order to fight this, it's honestly very, very unnecessary, okay? People are maxing out overtime. They are picking up a second job. They are stopping their retirement contributions just to stay afloat today. Working more hours for money that's worth less than it was a year ago is kind of the biggest scam, the biggest robbery that it has been taken on American citizens. It's a very quiet robbery, I might add, okay? Because like, look, no one breaks into your house, right? They just make the same dollar do less year after year, hoping that you blame yourself, asking why, right? They're hoping that you look at yourself in the mirror and say that, oh, maybe I'm not working hard enough. No, the dollar value just went down. So why does this keep happening? Because a confused, exhausted worker who blames themselves is a lot easier to deal with than an angry one who understands the system. Prices are up about, I say, 25% since 2021. The exhaustion that I'm seeing, it's real, right? And it's measurable. And the only thing that they actually need from you guys is for you to just not notice it. So I want you guys to tell me something. Is your paycheck keeping up, honestly? More money, less money? Are you barely getting by or are you just completely behind? All right. Drop it in the comment section and let's actually compare notes instead of suffering in private. All right. And to make sure that we're not really getting, bent over. I'll see you guys on the next one.